And welcome to the Nasboys podcast. Now, did you know that Eminem was part owner of an ARCA team in 2011? The team was named Carter Eminem Motorsports and ran a few races in 2011 with driver Roger Carter. The team was renamed to Carter 2 Motorsports the next year, and Ron Paul was the part owner. He used the car to promote his presidential campaign in 2012. So anyways, guys, welcome to the Nasboys podcast. I'm your host, Mike, a.k.a. Mike Fam 101, with my good friend and co-host, Cam, a.k.a. Notice_Cam.
Howdy, y'all.
So today, let's get down to talking about some NASCAR. We are going to be talking about this weekend's races at New Hampshire, kicking it off with the Xfinity race. There was only the Xfinity and the Cup race. So the Xfinity race was not too bad. It was actually a lot more enjoyable than previous races at New Hampshire. We saw a lot of battling, a lot of great racing, and a huge wreck with Josh Berry and Ryan Sieg, which I'll put on the screen right here.
Why sail it in there underneath?
And sideways goes the 8. Berry goes around.
Oh, Sam Bear in it.
And a big hit from behind on Ryan Sieg. They pile up coming out of 2.
Definitely crazy how Sieg kind of like his car went forwards a little bit like that. I hadn't really seen that, especially at a track like New Hampshire. So that was pretty scary. I'm glad he's all right. But I'm very happy for Justin Allgaier getting the win, his 3rd win of the season. He is looking like the championship favorite right now, and it's certainly exciting as an Allgaier fan.
Agreed. Yeah, this race that we saw, it was interesting. I definitely think out of like all the New Hampshire races I've seen, this was probably one of the most eventful and like actually kind of fun. No offense to New Hampshire or nothing. I just don't think I'd rather have Chicagoland than New Hampshire. My fair opinion. I just think it's a boring track. I mean, I think it's overrated at most. But besides that, it was a good race. That dude, I've never seen a car do that like Sieg's did. Like that was like it was just the weirdest. Like it didn't even look like it was supposed to do that really. Like I don't know, that was definitely a weird thing that happened. And overall a good race though. Definitely probably one of the better ones this weekend or this past weekend.
Yeah, for sure. So let's take a look at what you guys had to say. 50% of you said great, 33% of you said good, 17% of you said message okay, and none of you said bad. Henry24257 says, good race with lots of passing and some wild wrecks, 8 out of 10. Another thing that was really wild was Daniel Hamrick and Noah Gregson. They looked like they were beating and banging a lot. And at the end of one of the stages, I believe it was the first or the second stage, not too sure which one, Hamrick spun Gregson out, and it looked like an accident. But a lot of people, including myself, were cheering because they do not like Noah Gregson.
Top of the screen, you see the 88. William Byron has a 2.8 second lead over Landon Castle. He is going to win stage 2.
It's gonna be a hard pass for. He spun him.
It is going to be a hard pass, especially there's going to be hard feelings now too.
What did you think of that, Cam?
Yeah, deserved. 100% deserved. I mean, you were driving like an a-hole in the previous race, and you got dumped. And I don't think it was on purpose, but it was well deserved. It should have been on purpose because you had it coming.
Right. And Noah actually got disqualified from the race for his car being too low in the front. And Landon Castle got disqualified for his car being too low in the rear. So now let's take a look at the Cup race. I didn't get a chance to watch too much of this. I watched like the first stage and a little bit of the second stage, but unfortunately I had to go to work. So I could not watch the rest of the race. And where the eventful part began I heard Joey got put in the wall by Chase Elliott, so I'll put that on the screen right here because I personally have not seen it.
Came out of turn 4 and made a move that was eerily familiar to fans of the number 22 car, sliding up the track into the side of Logano and knocking him sideways.
And I'm kind of glad I didn't see it because I would probably be on the podcast angry. So you're lucky not to hear that. But the real topic of the race was where Brad Keselowski and Austin Dillon were battling. I did take a look at this, even though I did not see it live.
So the 3 goes up here, swerves at the 6, and then Brad just loses it. Wow. Let's listen to the 6 audio.
Get away from him. The guy tried to wreck me down the backstretch. The 4, come on, come around him.
Welcome back to New Hampshire. Still trying to figure out what is going on between Brad Keselowski and Austin Dillon. 2 guys going at it on the racetrack under caution, Marty. You learning anything down there?
Well, and look at this. After the pit stops, they're still front to back here. And I asked the team a moment ago, I asked Justin Alexander, Austin Dillon's crew chief, I said, what led to that? He said, I have no clue what happened on the racetrack. I think you can file another one away, Parker, for how frustrating it is here at New Hampshire to race as the contact happened right there on the backstretch.
Definitely, and I asked Matt McCall the exact same question. I said, what precipitated that? He goes, no idea. We think maybe the 3 thinks we hit him, but we didn't hit him. So I think a lot of people scratch their head here. We know it can be frustrating back to the pack just trying to get those cars to work, and tempers will flare, but these 2 teams are questioning why they were even angry at each other.
That reminds me of Robbie Gordon and Michael Waltrip.
Oh, good helmet throw. Great reference.
Same thing happened almost on the back straightaway.
And my opinion on it is it's stupid. Austin Dillon was upset because Brad Keselowski raced him hard, where I did not see anything where Brad Keselowski was racing him hard. And Austin Dillon just comes up and gives him a little baby tap, and Keselowski just had enough of Austin Dillon's crap and ended up trying to turn him on the straightaway, which was very wild to see. I think that both drivers kind of overreacted a little bit. Brad Keselowski probably should have taken a little bit of a chill pill, but I completely agreed where he was upset by Austin Dillon just being, a baby. And Austin Dillon definitely overreacted. I don't even know what started that. He just taps him for no reason. So if anything, they probably should have gotten parked, especially Austin Dillon. And what I didn't like was Brad Keselowski tried to handle it very mature. He was like, I'm not going to talk about it in the media. I'm going to talk to him privately.
Was the exchange between you and Austin Dillon out on the racetrack, what was that?
Hot in the cars, and probably all our tempers get the best of us. But no, we had a decent day here, Kim. Number 6 core generators RFK Ford Mustang climbed really far that last run. I think we went from somewhere around the late 20s, or late teens and 20s, and drove up to 7th there on the last run. So proud of our team for the effort today. Certainly an up and down day, and good to finish on a up mark.
Austin told me he does not like the way that you race him. Is the feeling mutual?
Yeah, I'll talk to him privately. I don't need to be a jerk over the media.
And Austin Dillon said, I don't talk to him.
You guys saw it, right? I mean, it's just hard racing, I guess. We've gone at it a couple times the last 2 years. One time I hit really hard, so just don't like the way certain people are racing me, and probably not the right way to do it under a caution. But thanks for giving us an interview for the Bass Pro Shop Chevy. We weren't very good today, and we'll go to fight on the next race, and we got to get this 3-car in the playoffs.
Does this warrant a conversation with Brad?
No, I don't talk to him.
So Austin Dillon is just proving that he's just a spoiled little kid who probably doesn't even deserve that car, if you want my honest opinion.
Yeah, I think Ty Dillon deserves that car more than Austin Dillon does, but that's just my personal opinion. I think I made this prediction in the earlier podcast, but I'll say it again if I didn't. I've always thought that once Austin Dillon got this TV show, he was gonna let it get into his head, and he was gonna act different and act like he's a star and this and that. And I mean, I'm not saying this is portraying this already, but I'm saying, this is something, like I said, I just feel like it's going to be detrimental to him mentally if he does get a lot of this love, and he does get a lot of, which, it's on TV. I mean, you're on live TV. You have your own TV show. I'm sure you have a bigger head on your shoulders than you can have, than you can handle. And because of that, I kind of think like it's going to get to his head. But, I only watched the first stage, and sadly I had to get busy and I had to watch my little brother. But with watching the first stage, not really too much happens in the first stage. It's not really a lot happens really. But that I did get to see the clip. I didn't even hear about Logano got put in the wall by Chase Elliott, but that's a classic Chase Elliott move. I mean, no offense, but we've seen it at Bristol and we've seen it again. Chase Elliott, learn how to drive, and I don't care about your fans. All right, come at me in the comments. I dare you. I will get on my personal account and roast every single one of you. Don't make me do it. Anyways, sorry, I got a little heated in the moment, guys. Anyways, I did see the Brad Keselowski and Austin Dillon wreck thing that happened, little cat fight they had, a little rare. And I personally believe that, sadly to say, the llama himself, Keselowski, was right. It looked like a little racing incident, and Austin got his little feelings hurt over it. His little butt hurt baby self. Someone used to go change Austin's diaper. Did he poop himself when he was turning him? Oh, Austin. Poor little baby. All right, he needs to go sip his bottle. All right, it's racing, dude. You're in the 3 car. You're supposed to be aggressive and make it look aggressive, and you're supposed to carry that legacy a little bit. Instead, you're dumping people over pointless racing. If Dale was in that car, he would have not let that happen. 100%. He would have just kept racing because he knows, he understands. It's a little rub and tub. All right, deal with it. Golly.
Now, I will say, Cam, I was happy to see Christopher Bell winning the race. He's had a little bit of a rough season, been fast, but just couldn't get it done. And he finally got it done on probably his best track. So congratulations to Christopher Bell. We now have 14 different winners. And I have Ryan Blaney and Keselowski getting into the playoffs. So maybe I'm right. Maybe there will be more. But we are on pace to get more than 16 winners. So who knows what could happen in these next 6 races.
Yeah, I think it's funny, though. Last year, I'm going to say it. I don't care what anybody says. Kyle Larson dominated, in my opinion. I mean,
of course he did.
And it's like now you see all these drivers pick it up a little bit. You know what I mean? And now they're really starting to pick it up. And it's like now you don't see Kyle Larson anywhere. No offense to him, but I don't know if he's even won a race this year. And if he has, I can't remember. Anyways, that's besides the point. The point is you're seeing a lot of these drivers step up. And congrats to Christopher Bell. I like Christopher Bell, and I think he's done one thing maybe that I was like, why would you do that? And I was like, Christopher Bell is kind of an idiot, but at the same time, he's a young driver. He's still got some time in him.
Right. So now let's take a look at what you guys had to say. 40% of you said great, 40% of you said good, 20% of you said meh/okay, and none of you said bad. Aurora_Wolf_19 said the race was better than what most of the New Hampshire races are. It's still missing something. Yeah, I agree. And Cam, I forgot to mention this to your point about Kyle Larson. That's the beauty of this next gen car. It's making these races a lot more competitive, and you're seeing people like Ross Chastain and Daniel Suarez and Tyler Reddick, for example, do much better than they had been in the Gen 6. Because I feel like if we had the Gen 6, Kyle Larson would still be dominating like he did last season.
Agreed. There had to be a change. And I'd also like to say that we'd see a lot more competitiveness in the back, too, if it wasn't for Fox, crappy camera crew that can't record anything. You can clearly tell those were the kids that recorded school fights back then.
Well, very true. And then Dan's_diecast says, very good mid-racing. So for the Keselowski and Dillon thing, 91% of you were on Keselowski's side and one of you were on Austin Dillon's side. What?
Who was it? Mike? Say it on the podcast. Come on.
It was Christian on another account. Yeah, I don't know why. On one account, he picked Keselowski, and on another account, he picked Austin Dillon. I don't know why.
Of course it was Christian. Oh my Lord.
Yeah, the reason why he's not on this show is because he has COVID. So get well soon, Christian. We hope to see you back in the next episode.
Yeah, get well soon.
So Aurora _Wolf _19 says that was completely unnecessary on Dylan's part. Honestly, he just straight up rammed Keselowski. Yes, he did. I don't know why he did that.
Yeah.
Josiah _Calhoun said Brad did nothing wrong. What Austin did was uncalled for. Yes, Josiah. Dan's _diecast says Dylan shouldn't have came up on Brad. Keselowski shouldn't have cried about it and destroyed his car. I don't know if crying is the correct way to put it, but okay. I get his point because he, like I said, he took it a little too far. He was trying really hard to wreck him, and they gotta watch out for that in case NASCAR decides to park them. But then again, they let Noah Gregson wreck somebody in the middle of the straightaway, and it took out like 15 cars. So.
Oh my gosh! If they let Noah Gregson get away with that, and they wouldn't let them get away with that, I would lose my mind. Dude, like I said, if I was Noah Gregson, I'd realize and I'd understand that until I get my act together and I can calm down my anger, I'm never gonna get anywhere.
Right.
Noah, talk to Kurt Busch, man. Talk to Kurt Busch. I'm telling you, have a chat with him, dude. He'll listen. He might even retire after the season. He'll give you some of his knowledge of how to calm down. Talk to Kurt Busch because he used to be a hothead just like you, if not worse. I mean, I don't know if you guys have ever seen some of like the things he said on radio, but he said some wild stuff.
Oh, facts, Cam. Very true. And then the official Gator says Austin Dillon is a sissy. Yes, he is a sissy.
Yes, agreed.
All right, so let's talk about some of the news that's been going on.
Whoa, Mike, we forgot driver of the day.
Oh, yes, that is true. Let me pull that up again. But while I'm pulling up driver of the day, I'm going to mention this. ARCA driver Bobby East was stabbed to death in California at a gas station. I don't know who that is, but rest in peace to him.
Yeah, I don't know of him either. I'm not really been a huge fan of ARCA, but rest in peace to him. Prayers for him and his family.
Yeah. So the driver of the day is Martin Truex Jr. with 2 votes, which I can agree with. He looked like he had a dominant car. I'm not sure what happened to him later in the race, but he did have a dominant car. Someone else that was considered was Bubba Wallace. He came in 3rd. He had a pretty good showing. And then somebody else that I want to point out is Kurt Busch. Kurt Busch pit from 3rd with about 32 laps to go, went down a lap, got his lap back, and rallied all the way back up, passing like 14 to 15 cars and managed to get a top 10, finishing in 10th. So my pick is Martin Truex, but I think that Kurt Busch should definitely be in that consideration.
Yeah, I'm going Truex too, but I didn't even know about Kurt Busch, but yes, good point.
All right, so now let's get into some of the news topics in NASCAR. We already mentioned about Bobby East. So now let's talk about Tyler Reddick going to 23-11. This was honestly shocking because people could probably figure he would leave RCR because, RCR is not the best team. Look at Kevin Harvick, for example. Great race car driver, but he was frustrated with how RCR prioritized his grandchildren over his, Kevin Harvick. And I guess Tyler Reddick kind of felt that same way that Austin Dillon was getting special treatment. So he ended up going to 23-11, which was very shocking to me because, there was like no sign that Reddick wanted to leave RCR. Sorry, I forgot my wording for a second. But yeah, there was no sign that he was getting ready to leave there and that his contract was up. His contract is apparently good till next season, at the end of the next season. And he's going to 23-11. But the question is, is 2311 going to open up a third car already within like 3 seasons of being a team? Or is Kurt Busch going to retire? Or are they going to do the unthinkable and Bubba Wallace is going to be out of a ride? I personally think that it's going to be that Kurt Busch is going to get out of a ride, because I don't know why they would open up a third car when they can. Bubba Wallace's team is not very good, and Kurt Busch is doing decent. So I don't know why you would open up a third team already, like 3 years into your existence, and you haven't even gotten that many wins. They have 2 wins as an organization.
Yeah, and excuse me, and it almost kind of felt like a backhand to the face of RCR, because it seems like they didn't even know about it.
Right.
They kind of felt like a shock to them, and not only was it like it just came out of the blue, out of nowhere, it popped up, and I just kind of find it a little suspicious. I think something kind of went on. Something must have had to happen, or it wouldn't just make sense in my opinion. People are like blockbuster, and I'm like, I think personally it's a little too early for a blockbuster. Like even now, it's way too early. Which I think Reddick maybe could have a better chance. And I kind of wonder. Here's what I'm wondering. Okay, if Kurt Busch does leave, will he retire? Maybe. I have a stronger feeling he's going to retire than he would go to another car. But I'd also like to say it depends on his season. It also depends on his season this year. And countless of times you've seen Bubba's team, his crew team, no offense to them, but they suck. His pit stop team absolutely sucks. They've caused him a lot of races. And I kind of wonder if, let's say Kurt Busch does go, they'll put Bubba into the now 45 car. And maybe they'd put Reddick into the other one. And, but they change numbers or maybe they'd give Kurt Busch, I don't know. My thing is, it's just if I was them, personally, I'd keep the 2 cars, by the way, because you need to invest in those 2 teams. I mean, those 2 cars you need to invest in. If you're going to open up another slot, that's just going to be a lot of more money that you're just wasting on, and you're never going to get anything as a team. And, and if I were you guys, I would definitely be spending a lot of my money, no offense to Reddick or nothing, but I'd be spending a lot of it on Bubba Wallace. He's your guys' future. Clearly you can see he can race, even with the horrible team he has. You guys have to definitely take advantage of this and learn to get a better team and, pay and, opening up a third car would be so stupid, in my opinion.
Right.
That'd be like you might as well just tank your business down. And I don't know. I don't want Kurt to leave, but who knows what will happen with him.
Right, Cam, I completely agree with your point, because if they open up a third car, then that's more money wasted that they could use to get better pit crew members for Wallace, because Wallace is not a bad driver. He can get you a top 10, week in, week out, but he doesn't have the best team. They swap crews with Christopher Bell. I don't think that he'll change numbers, but it wouldn't surprise me if they shifted the teams around during the season.
That's what I was trying to say. And I do believe that if you invest into a good team, 23XI, Bubba could easily have 2 to 3 wins next season. If you had a better team, 100%. I will back my way on that. I will back him up on that. And I listen, for anybody out there, I don't like Bubba, but I'll back him up on that. I think Bubba could easily not easily, but he could get 2 to 3 wins.
I don't know about 2 to 3. I think maybe 1 or 2. Definitely, especially on those plate tracks. He is proven to be a force on there, and it looks like he's good on the short tracks too. Because look at him at New Hampshire; he's not too bad on Martinsville.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if Bubba Wallace gets a win if he has a better team. But right now, I don't see it unless they just shift the teams around. Even though they already did, giving him Christopher Bell's crew. So. And then another big news story was, well, not big, but another news story was Ty Dillon. Speaking of him earlier in the podcast, he got fired basically from Petty GMS Fun fact for you guys: this is actually my cousin is actually his crew chief, or my cousin's husband is actually his crew chief, and I feel like he's getting he's going to get a better driver because Ty Dillon is not the greatest driver. We've seen him wrecking this season. We've seen him not have the best finishes, but he's also been decent on some tracks. Like we saw him doing well on some of the plate tracks. But I think this is a decent move. I think Ty should move down to the Xfinity Series and try to do better there so he can get a cup ride. Or he could try to go to the vacant 8, but I know he has said he doesn't want to use Grandpa's money, which I completely respect, unlike his brother, Austin. So it will be interesting to see what he does. And one person they said that could fill in that role is Noah Gregson.
Yeah. Man. I mean, I could see it. Just is he ready though? What do you think, Mike? Is he ready?
I think so. He's been in the Xfinity Series for a couple of years now. He's been there for, I want to say 3 or 4 years. I can't remember the exact number. He's gotten some wins. He's gotten a championship 4 appearance under his belt. I think it would be a good idea if he went to the Cup Series. He's already raced some in the Cup Series, and he didn't do terrible. I think he'd be a good idea to go to Petty GMS at least for a season or two because they're not like an elite team, but they're not completely trash. So I think it would be perfect for Noah Gregson to at least get his career started in the Cup Series.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, my thing is just like he's just got to get his anger calmed down.
Right.
He's just like I said, driving wise, I think he's good. I can't remember if it was this season or it was the past season, but he had like a really bad slumping period for a while. I think it was last season, and
yes, it was correct.
And he's definitely gotten better for sure. And I think he could pull it off. I'm not doubting him. I just think his anger is going to get him in trouble if he's not careful.
Right. Okay, guys. So the next clip you are about to see is from episode 63. It's where we talk about the Chicago street course since that was just released. And we forgot to talk about it when we were recording this episode. So fortunately, we had that one saved. So please enjoy this next clip. NASCAR is thinking about bringing a race back to Chicago. Now, either it will be at Chicagoland Motor Speedway, which is probably where it should be, or a new Chicago street course. Personally, I am not the biggest fan of this idea, but I was also not the biggest fan of the what's it called? The Los Angeles Coliseum. Took me a minute, but it was a great race. So I'm not going to judge it too much until they say that it's going to be on the schedule and I watch it, but it's not the best of ideas right now. Chicagoland coming back. I understand what people are saying, that it's a mid-track, and I somewhat agree. But just like Auto Club, I think that the next-gen car is going to make the racing a lot better if they decide to race there next year. But I don't think it should be replacing Road America because, one, Road America is still new to the Cup Series schedule. This is going to be the second race. Road America is a Midwest Southern track, whatever you want to call it.
Wisconsin.
Yeah, Wisconsin. And that's an area for, NASCAR, in my opinion. It sold out last year. It was on 4th of July weekend. And it's going to be on 4th of July weekend again this year. And I just think it would be stupid if they took it off. It's a good road course. It's one of my favorite road courses. And I'm not the biggest fan of road courses. And I like that track. So I really hope they don't take it off. I think that they should take off maybe Texas because not a lot of fans like it. But I don't think they will because it still sells tickets because Texas is in the South and it's just the place for NASCAR. So
yeah. My opinion on that whole thing is, I love Road America. It produces good racing every year. Xfinity Cup, whatever. I do think it's one of the better road courses we have. hate me or not, it was really eventful. So, I'm excited to see how it runs. Now, here's my thing. It would maybe change my mind a little bit if it ran like super bad this year. Then maybe it would change my mind. But until then, I'm pretty stuck up that we should keep Road America. And, Chicagoland, I would like to see back. I like Chicagoland. I miss it a little bit for sure. But the street race idea for Chicago, like, why Chicago? Why Chicago, man? There's so many better places, dude. You're going to hit like a pothole in Chicago. Like, you know how crappy and run down they are? You're going to have a shootout mid-race, dude. It's not going to be
Exactly.
Come on, dude. They're going to like run into the King Von mural or whatever, dude. It's just not going to be a good idea, dude. Like, why Chicago? Like, do a better area. I don't know. I mean, like, heck, California has a better street than that.
That's going to make the traffic there worse.
I mean, that's true. I will say this, like, with Chicago, the street course, I don't think it's a good idea either. That's a horrible idea. Chicagoland, I'm open to it, but I never was a fan of Chicagoland. It had some very bad races. Now, if I could see them maybe thinking, I think they should do a street race, it would probably be either Houston or Detroit. Now, the reason why I'm saying Detroit is because of the IndyCar track. They should do that because it was cool. But not Chicago of all places. No. Or New York. No, I don't want them to go to New York and do a street race there either.
I mean, I don't want them to do a street race, period. But if they have to, I would go with Belle Isle in Detroit.
Oh yeah.
If I had to pick one that I just wish like they could do a street course on, do Tokyo, please. Like I know it would never happen. But like a Tokyo street race would be amazing. I'd just like to say that. Like the whole aesthetic vibe of it being late at night and all lit up in the city would be such a good vibe. But it'll never happen.
Right. Or St. Petersburg.
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh, that was a good one, Mike.
Yeah, I can understand your point there, Cam. But I think it would be a good investment for them to do that. And then he could possibly go to the 8. Maybe Austin Hill goes to the 8. Or if Kurt Busch doesn't retire and he gets booted out of the 45, he could go to the 8. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, let's get into this week's meme of the week. Here it is.
Dylan, NASCAR driver, number 3 car for Richard Childress Racing. You can go out there and try and win the race or wreck time.
So this meme was made by Tremendation, and it basically shows Austin Dillon and a little bit of his reality show, plus these like funny noises in the middle of the thing happening. So I thought it was pretty funny.
Yeah, I thought it was funny too.
By the way, comment down below if you guys want me, Cam, and Christian to watch a couple of the episodes, because there are a couple of the episodes of the reality show. Comment down below if you guys want us to react to the full episode or if you want us to review it on the podcast. We would love to hear your input on this.
If you want to hear a lot of roasting, then comment, like, do whatever you got to do. Because I can strongly tell you, I don't like Austin Dillon. I want to punch him in the face. And I can tell you that his little diva show he's got going on, I can't stand. All right. It's just so Hollywood. I can't stand it.
Yeah, I mean, I saw a little bit of it. It did not look terrible. It looked like something that I could watch, but I bet you it was just the parts that are going to get people interested in NASCAR.
Yeah.
So, all right, now let's get into our picks for this weekend's race over at Pocono. We got all 3 series racing over there. So starting out with the truck series, I'm going to go ahead and say Zane Smith.
Son of a gun, Mike. I'm going the same thing. I'm saying Zane. Man.
All right. Next up, we got the Xfinity Series. This pick has not worked out well for me, but I'm going to try it again. Daniel Hamrick. Why not?
I could see that. I could actually see it maybe. I'm going to go. I'll go Noah Gregson.
Okay. And finally, for the Cup Series, I got kind of a bold pick. This is weird to call this guy a bold pick because of how good he has been in previous years. But I think that Brad Keselowski will get his first win of the season and will lock himself into the playoffs.
Whoa. Okay. I got Alex Bowman going in, man.
Alex Bowman. That's actually a really good pick.
I got Alex Bowman, dude. I don't know why. I just feel like, he's kind of been this guy who's been he's been decent. You know what I mean? Like, he's had his moments, but he's also had his days of where it's like, eesh. And, Pocono, he's always done really good at. I mean, there's been a couple of times now that I can remember of him being at least top 10,
right.
And running up in the front. So I think this is going to be his year.
Right. Well, that's going to close out this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. Comment, like, subscribe. Make sure you guys follow our socials, and we will see you guys in the next episode. Peace.
Peace.
What I think, all these women lie, push me to the brink. She only calling night, bellies or the